They gained their independence and enjoyed their moment of glory, but they couldn't survive. They had their own governments, controlled their territory, and managed their borders, yet today they no longer appear on the map. Welcome as we explore the 7 greatest countries that no longer exist. Number 7. The United Arab Republic. Egypt is one of the few countries that spans 2 continents. Most of its territory lies in Africa, while the Sinai Peninsula is in Asia. But for a time, Egypt was part of the United Arab Republic, giving it an even greater presence in Asia. The country was created through the union of Egypt and Syria, inspired by the philosophy of Pan-Arabism, the idea of uniting all Arab peoples into a single nation. In 1958, the Syrian people voted in a referendum to unite with Egypt. They also accepted Gamal Abdel Nasser, the region's most influential leader at the time, as president of the new country. The problem was that many Syrians soon felt marginalized, as nearly all political power remained in Egyptian hands. In 1961, a revolt broke out, and the central government chose not to suppress it. Syria withdrew from the Union, while Egypt continued using the name United Arab Republic for another 10 years. Number 6. Newfoundland, Canada is the 2nd largest country in the world, but until the last century it was still taking shape. In fact, Newfoundland existed as a separate state for 42 years. In 1907, it gained self-government and held the same status as New Zealand and Australia, both self-governing dominions of the British Crown. Newfoundland even formed its own army and fought in World War I. However, poor financial management left the country buried in debt, and the situation became impossible to sustain. In a rather unusual move, Newfoundland voluntarily gave up its self-government and invited Britain to take control once again. That arrangement lasted for several more years until 1949, when Newfoundland officially joined Canada, helping create the vast nation we know today, the world's 2nd largest country after Russia. Number 5. Ceylon. Many people still refer to Sri Lanka by its former name, Ceylon. Located just off the coast of India, the island became known as Ceylon after the arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century. It later became a British colony and, like many other territories, gained its independence after World War II. Even after becoming independent, it remained within the British Commonwealth, much like Australia and Canada. During that period, the country continued to use the name Ceylon. In 1972, it adopted a republican form of government and officially changed its name to Sri Lanka. Even so, the new name took decades to become fully established. In 2011, 39 years after the change, the government launched a campaign to rename official institutions that were still using the name Ceylon. So if even the country itself continued using its old name for decades, it's easy to understand why the rest of the world took so long to adopt the new one. Number 4. South Yemen. During the Cold War, several divided countries used cardinal directions to distinguish themselves. North and South Korea, East and West Germany, North and South Vietnam, and North and South Yemen. One followed a socialist system, while the other was capitalist, and they existed separately for more than 2 decades before reunifying. What made Yemen unique was, first, that relations between the 2 sides were generally more friendly than in the other divided countries. Although there were periods of tension, reunification ultimately came through an agreement rather than an armed conflict. The second unusual fact involves geography. South Yemen was actually located farther north than North Yemen. It might have been more accurate to call them West Yemen and East Yemen instead. Number 3. The Republic of Hawaii. In the 19th century, Hawaii became a kingdom after the unification of its various island communities. 2 royal dynasties ruled the islands until the end of the century. However, following a revolution, the monarchy was overthrown and replaced by the Republic of Hawaii. Its independence was short-lived. Just 4 years later, it was annexed by the United States, first as a territory, and much later, in 1959, as the country's 50th state. Had that annexation never happened, Barack Obama would never have become president of the United States, since he was born in Honolulu, the capital of Hawaii. We could have made one more, about the independent Republic of Hawaii. Number 2. Senegambia. Let's be honest, one of the reasons this country ranks so high is its name. Senegambia is simply a combination of Senegal and the Gambia. We could invent other names the same way: Tanzanique, Iranistan, or Honduras, or Czechoslovakia. Well, that one actually existed. Senegal and the Gambia are incredibly closely connected. In fact, if you look at the map, it's striking. The Gambia is an extremely narrow country stretching along both banks of a river, completely surrounded by Senegal. The two countries decided by mutual agreement to form a confederation. Their main goal was to strengthen regional security after a series of internal uprisings. The union was established in 1982. Under the agreement, the president of Senegal became the president of the new confederation, while the president of the Gambia served as vice president. The confederation lasted until 1989, when Senegal decided to dissolve it because the two countries had failed to achieve a genuine political union. Bonus mention before revealing number one, we should mention two heavyweight countries that are so well known they were left off this list. The first is the Soviet Union, and the second is Yugoslavia, two major states that shaped much of the 20th century. The Soviet Union eventually split into 15 independent countries, while the territory of former Yugoslavia is now divided into 7 separate states. Number 1. The Free State of Fiume. On the coast of the Adriatic Sea, we find one of the most extraordinary stories in modern history, one that truly deserves the number 1 spot. After World War I ended, no agreement could be reached over who should control the city of Fiume. Both the Kingdom of Italy and the newly formed Yugoslavia claimed it. The solution was to create the Free State of Fiume, an independent country. In 1920, the Italian poet Gabriele D'Annunzio came to power. A constitution was written that included some remarkably unusual ideas. It envisioned a kind of utopian society that promoted free love and even the abolition of money. Many intellectuals were drawn to the new state, but so were criminals, since there were virtually no effective laws or government authority. Although the Free State of Fiume officially lasted 4 years, in reality the experiment survived for little more than a year before it was annexed by Italy. Many of the ideas, symbols, and political style introduced by D'Annunzio, who ruled the state as a highly unconventional dictator, were later adopted by Benito Mussolini. After World War II, the city became part of Yugoslavia. Today, the former city of Fiume is known as Rijeka, and it belongs to Croatia. That concludes our journey through 7 fascinating countries that no longer exist. Would you have added another one to the list? Let us know in the comments below. You can also support the channel by becoming a member with a monthly contribution.